devolution conference so that Kenyans cannot feel like it's another talk shop that has, gobbled up public money but to no value?
Thank you. My expectation for this devolution conference, looking at the 10 years, present and the future, are as follows. First, I wanted to see whether this conference can demonstrate that indeed devolution has brought change in the governance system in this country. I think all the presentations that have been given here, from the president to all other dignitaries, have indicated that indeed devolution is working and has future prospects of even doing better. And it is clear from what has been presented here that devolution is the one that is providing equity and inclusiveness or inclusivity in the development agenda of this country. So for me, my expectation number one has been achieved. My expectation number two was, where do we go from here? How do we make devolution now work and be enshrined in the leadership of the people? That's where people become the leaders. The people at the grassroots become the opinion leaders, be the ones to make the decision. I think this is where we are, and to be able to do that, it has come out very clear here that we need to strengthen devolution by providing the necessary funding from the national government. Disbursement of funds must come at the right time. But it has also been discussed that we need to have a different funding model for counties. We should not only just depend on the treasury for the funds. It's come out clear here that we need, as counties, to have our own source of revenue collection. And I agree that we can collect our own sources of revenue to complement what we are getting from the national government.
But the own source revenue question has been a bit of a dicey one, because over the years, since devolution began, and we saw, like when devolution started, there were a lot of demonstrations and strikes, either by traders, because the county governments had to raise the fees, and we're still not hitting our budgets. So where is this extra money going to come from, if from the beginning it has not really been there?
I think the extra money will come from, automation, because most of the revenue collection has been manual, where people go in the markets with the receipts and collect money. And there's been a lot of pilferage and stealing of money. And I believe through automation, we can be able to get more money. And there are many other revenue streams which are not necessarily those where you collect money from Mama Mboga. Many revenue streams, like advertisements, like even having people pay for, let's say, when they have crusades within places. All these things, there are many revenue streams which we have not exploited. So I believe we can be able to raise significant amount of money for us. I also believe Treasury over time should give us also autonomy as counties to negotiate funding directly with the government partners, so that we can be able to negotiate certain funding to a certain level direct. Because currently you have to go through the Treasury. And that, again, is a long process. And when the money comes through the Treasury, then the money must be managed at the ministry level. Finally, I expect, and I believe it's one of the resolutions that will be given here, that all the functions that have not been devolved from the national government should be within 6 months, the way the president said here, should be devolved. And those functions should be devolved with the accompanying or with the required amount of money to implement them.
Why do you think that? Because, like, for example, health is one of the biggest issues that is there when it comes to devolution, and, we don't have it being fully devolved. Why do you think there are people still holding on to this at the national government level?
You see, national government level, according to the constitution, they are only supposed now to do policy and legal frameworks. And that means that they just need a secretariat. But they have been used to implementing. So it is winning a child from suckling the mother.
A 10-year-old child is still winning?
Yes, we have to win, because they still want to glow back what they used to do. But I think with the time and with the effort that is being put, most of these functions should be devolved, and the national government should be there to ensure policy and legal frameworks are in place. And more important, the issue of corruption has come out here very clearly. And I believe this is an area where the national government should come up with a very serious policy with the county governments to ensure that, first of all, we declare corruption a national pandemic or a national disaster. And once we declare, we come up with a work plan on how to deal with corruption in a manner that we must reduce it to the lowest level where it does not have a major impact to the development agenda of our county.
So is it a matter of being afraid of losing control for the government, national government?
Yes, the national government, they're afraid of losing control because basically, and that's what devolution is meant about. Devolution is meant to empower the county government so that they are self-sustaining, self-maintaining, so that you don't have to care much what happens at the national government. That's why in many developed countries, it doesn't matter who becomes the president. People don't care about the president. People care only their counties because that's where the decisions are made, their services, they receive it at the local level. So we are using, I hope from this conference, the government will allow the counties to have all the functions and devolved, and they should allow us to function, but they should work with us to ensure that the devolution works. Because coordination is very important, and it's covered clearly in the Constitution that we are independent, but we are interdependent, and we are a unitary government system.
Okay, and just in closing, we have had a number of Wananchi at times feeling that political leaders are detached from the realities of Wananchi. For instance, the other day there was a girl whose video went viral, Masita Rus, when it was about the Finland issue. Yeah. When she was asking the governor, do you know the price of antidepressants? Yeah. And many people resonated with that because they felt that, do you leaders really understand our plight? So some people argue that you do not. Do you feel it's a fair accusation or a fair assertion?
Well, I can't say it's a fair accusation or assertion, but what I want to say is that people are entitled to their own opinion. But me as a governor, I can assure you, on the ground, I know the problems because I stay in Vihiga. I sleep, wake up in Vihiga, do my business in Vihiga and sleep there. So I know the problems. When people have problems, they come to my office. I see the problems are there. So yes, we may have some leaders who choose not to interact with their people directly. But quite a number of us, I can say, we interact directly because as a governor, you are in the county. You don't go anywhere else, you know.
So I think the feeling is that, yes, you may be in the county, but the issues that a certain Nafula is going through, yeah. You're not too alive to this reality, and some were arguing that maybe because you're already comfortable yourself, some of these realities are not one to you.
Let me tell you, I was a member of parliament. I'm now a governor. If you ask me, if I want comfort, I'll tell you I'll go back being a member of parliament. Being a member of parliament has more comfort, has even more salary, has more privileges than being a governor. In fact, the governor is actually downgrading yourself. So I would want to say that those of us who have chosen to become governors, it is a call. We want to help. We want to make a change in our counties. That's why some of us have come. But if it was for comfort, I would have been comfortably happy to remain a member of parliament of Emuhaya, and I would live a very comfortable life.
So after your current term ends, are we looking at you going back to parliament?
No. I can't go back to parliament. I have already passed that stage. I was in parliament for 10 years. I cannot go back there. I think I contributed a lot to parliament when I was there. And I was privileged. I was there when we had just passed the constitution. So all these laws that were promulgated, I participated. And those days, committees of parliament consisted of only five to 9 people. So most of the laws we have done, I have participated. So I don't think I would want to go to parliament again. I'll have something else to do. for the people of Kenya.